not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep.
I should be like you, man.
Don't forget to subscribe!
So with the new Xbox Series X been announced and its launch is coming at the end of the year, there is a certain game that I would like to see be brought back for the Xbox Series X. And it came out on the Xbox One when it first launched in, I think 2013, I think the console came out. But this game did come out in 2013, and it was Killer Instinct. So Killer Instinct is a game that dates way back in the day, further back than anybody can remember. But really, it was really not that far. See, Killer Instinct came out in 1994. It was me and Killer Instinct pretty much the same age. And it came out in 1994, and it was only based in the arcades. And it was more, in my eyes, was the goofier version of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was more serious and edgy, and it was, doing the fatalities, blood everywhere, guts, all that. Killer Instinct was something like that, but they were more goofy with their kind of stuff. And as they were gone for a very long time, because the last game that came out before the 2013 reboot was in 1996. The first game came out in 94. Killer Instinct Gold, or Killer Instinct 2, came out in 1996. So that's a big chunk of time for this game not to be around until 2013. See, I graduated in 2013. I was born in 1994, graduated in 2013. So that's a good solid, that's some years, y'all. So we are approaching the new Xbox, like I said, the new Xbox console. And I wanted to talk about what it would be like if we can have this game back. Now, before we get into this, you've seen it at the beginning, like, comment, and subscribe, because, I like doing this. So let's get into it. Let's get into what I think should come from the Killer Instinct game if they decide to bring it back. Well, first things first, we got to go off what the story is from the last game. See, Killer Instinct 2013 was a reboot from the Killer Instinct series, and it was developed by Double Helix Games under the supervision of Ken Lobb. Don't know much about the guy, I just know he was the director of the game at that time. And the first game in the series to be published by Microsoft Studios, because the owners of the game before Microsoft Studios back in the 90s was Rare. Rare made like Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, I think Diddy Kong Racing, and also the Donkey Kong games for Nintendo 64. And it was released in November of 2013. So technically, you could sit there and say it's been out for some time. It's been out for 6 years, honestly, as a launch title for the Xbox One. So as I read this article, it was one of the launch titles. Now, what made the game cool was they pretty much had a new villain called Arya. I really didn't see her as a villain. She was just going about her good deeds the wrong way. They had Idol in the game, and they also had Gargos. Now, after they beat all the villains, once you got to the end of the game, well, DLC, because you know how DLC is, you gotta pay for stuff. But after the Gargo storyline was finished, everybody became Dark Lords, or got Dark Lord's power, Dark Lord power. They pretty much, I think that was the end of that game, because they didn't put nothing else out. And I followed this YouTuber, you might know him by the name Maximilian. I think he had a lot to do with Killer Instinct, because he would talk about it, and I think he said he had his hand in that game. So he might know if there's going to be a Killer Instinct 2 coming out for the Xbox Series X, or it might have a different name, because Killer Instinct 2, then Killer Instinct 2013. This Killer Instinct should have a name, so maybe it should be called Killer Instinct Dark Lords, or maybe something different, But since Gargos is dead, Idol is probably dead. Some of the villains are still in game. Arya is still alive, even though she's a cyborg. They all are still there. So my first impression is y'all just gonna have to have a new villain altogether. Bring something new. Maybe Arya's creator wasn't really dead, and he's been hiding out, and now he wants to come into the world and be all like, all the serious threats have been taken out, so I'm just gonna make my presence known, and I'm just gonna slay everybody I see. Or they can go about a different way on the story is. So how we could probably merge the story is we can go back in time, but most of the characters that were from Killer Instinct 2 that were in the past, have been brought to present time and they're just been hiding out in different areas. Or they can bring some newer characters from the past and have them come to the future. A lot of things can be made up for this next game. Maybe Arya has you know, a creation, I guess, hidden in some hidden place in one of her hidden laboratories, and this is probably the perfect being, because every fighting game that's that one character who thinks they're the perfect being. Street Fighter has Seth, Dragon Ball Z has Cell, I think Dead or Alive has one, I'm not too sure. Tekken, I think Kaizuya thinks he's the perfect being, but get where I'm getting at here. Now, like, the gameplay is pretty much gonna play the same. The combo breakers, characters is probably one of the best parts of the game, and I feel like not everybody should make a comeback though. That's just me. Some of the characters were just downright just like, okay, we don't really need to have all these characters. Like, some of these characters were just downright dumb. Like the skeleton, I wasn't really for the skeleton, but characters I would like to see return. I would like to see like Argonos, no, he don't need to. Arbiter was DLC, so no. Arya, of course, because she needs to play a part in the upcoming game. Black Orchid, of course. Chief Thunder. Yeah, you could say yeah. Maybe a new version of Chief Thunder. Have him pass the mantle off to somebody like his brother, Cinder. 50-50 with Cinder. I'm not a real big fan on Cinder, but sure, I guess. Idol, dead. Eagle, dead. Fulgore is Eagle, but sure, upgraded version of Fulgore. Maybe he can have some of Eagle's fighting style, since we all know who Fulgore is. Gargos, dead. General Ram, DLC. Glacius, yes, of course. Maybe a more upgraded version of him. Hisako, of course. Jago, of course. Conra. Yeah. Much powerful. Maybe he can be like the underling to the main villain, or maybe he's just an underling just so he can get his hands on the main bad guy, so he can betray him, like double cross him. Kilgore is pretty much like a Gunjack version of Fulgore. Pretty much he's like the prototype, so he's prototype Jack. So yeah, bring him back. He could be like the Moko Jin in the game. Kim Woo, of course, gotta bring her back. Maya, of course. Mira, Spider Woman, yeah, we can say her. Omen, no, because Gargos is gone, so Omen got to go. Rash, DLC, he's a no-go. Riptor, yes, but a better version of Riptor. Saber Wolf, yes, but the cool thing about Saber Wolf, I want to see Saber Wolf go transform from in and out. So have him, per se, like learn how to switch in and out from human form to his wolf form, back and forth. Sadira, I think Sadira was a Spider Woman. I believe she was a Spider Woman. I got her mixed up with Mira. I think Mira was the one from in the past. I believe so, and she was the one whose clan had protected the gravesite of Conra, so Conra wouldn't come back. So I think that's Mira, and that's my fault if I got them mixed up. Don't at me. Shadow Jago, of course Shadow Jago is gonna be in the game. I mean, what game doesn't have a protagonist who has a dark side? Like, every fighting game has that. Shin Hisako, don't know who the fuck that is, but I'm pretty sure I know, but I don't know. It's been a minute since I played, y'all. Spinal, as much as Spinal is cool to everybody else, he is the corny character that I'm talking about. TJ combo, of course, we need the black token in the game, but we need another black token. We need another black person in this game too. And Tusk, yes, Tusk needs to return. He's pretty much Thor of the game, pretty much, because he looks like Thor. Now, why I say no to Spinal, I don't like Spinal. He just comes off so corny to me, y'all. Like, I just don't understand why Spinal has to be in the game. I'll read off his little bio real quick, but he's the only character I'm doing because I never really liked Spinal like that. Animated skeleton Spinal was reanimated by Ultratech, which is the people that Arya runs. And cell regeneration, but destroyed by Chief Thunder in the first tournament. However, Gargos had a Spinal of his own in the past. Spinal fights for vengeance and his freedom. So pretty much a skeleton with a sword and shield. That could have been so much better, but they didn't come up with nothing better. Now I give them their props. On 2013, they at least tried to give him some, some character, something to it. But at the end of it, There wasn't much. So why do I think that this game should come back as a launch title? Come to find out, Xbox Series X don't have any much launches or anything. They don't have many games they can, put out there with the console. So other than that, we really can't say much about the game, about the system. I personally feel like this should come back with the game console because it was pretty cool when it came out with Xbox One. So why not bring this game back? Why not, and say, hey, it worked on the first console, so why not try it again? So why not, sell this, and it's gonna be free to play, but also, later on down the line, DLC, like always. Probably do the same thing they did with the last console, or better yet, how about just sell it as a full $60 game, and over time have expansion pack, fighter pass. All fighting games are doing that now. Everybody's doing that. Hell, even Pokemon's doing it. So at this point, they might as well gonna do it too. This game should not have died. This game was fun to play. I mean, a lot of fighting games just fell off. Mortal Kombat fell off at one point. Tekken fell off at one point. Street Fighter. I never was a Street Fighter fan, but that fell off. Marvel's Capcom. I can go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, this game was actually pretty fun. This game is actually part of my childhood because I did play Killer Instinct 1 on the Game Boy, and it was pretty fun to play. Now, as I got older and I recognized that, the game I had on the Game Boy was actually in arcades and actually got to play the original version of the actual game, I can actually see that, hey, this is something that I want to keep playing. This seems like fun. I want to keep playing this and get a hold of the game. If I could ever get a hold of the original version, I would so surely play the hell out of that game. But sadly, we have not been announced nothing. I highly doubt that they will make another game, but I really hope they do. It's just Rare, Microsoft Studios, Microsoft, anybody, hell, PlayStation, if y'all want to get a hold of it and make your own game, this is a game y'all need to bring back, like real talk. It's fun, it's goofy, it's not too serious, it doesn't take itself serious because it knows that, hey, this is just something that we want to entertain our fans with. And this is a game, this is how you can get games out. If you know you're not gonna be serious and you just want to here's a fighting game, go nuts. I'm all for it, man. That's what video games need to get back to, just being fun, just outright fun. But that's all I got, guys. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.